Hi, this is a quick 20-minute hip flexor sequence. If you come to my classes, you know that I'm absolutely obsessed with hip flexors, so I love this one. I hope you enjoy it. So, as always, let's start in a comfortable position. Up to you, as ever. Could be laying, could be sitting. I'm going to lay down. And as always, we've got some options. Legs extended if it's comfortable. If you've got tight hip flexors, bend those knees a little bit. Closing your eyes if you like, but keep them open if you prefer. And let's just relax here. As always, bring your focus to your breathing. And let that tension out of the muscles. Just a couple more breaths here. So, as you inhale, as always, reach arms up past ears, lengthen down through legs, squeezing bums, tummies a little bit if you need. Exhale, we're bringing right knee in towards chest, bending knee and hugging the thigh to the body, starting the way we always do, with that stretch across the hips. And you've got options as ever. If you're happy as you are, stay as you are. Could hold back of thigh or back of knee, and you can pop that foot down to the floor if you need. Head, shoulders relaxed down, but you can lift up if you want, nose towards knee. Hugging this thigh in as close as comfortable. It's just the normal one. Couple of breaths here, just enjoying that stretch across the hip. From here, lengthen down through that leg, extend up through the arms and stretch out. Exhale, let's bring the left knee in towards chest, hugging thigh into body again. Same options as before. Head, shoulders relaxed down or lifting up, nose to knee. Holding shin, back of thigh or back of knee, or just relaxing that foot down to the floor if you need. Close your eyes if it helps you relax, it's completely up to you. And we're just enjoying this for a few breaths. And again, we've got that gentle stretch across the hip. Let's lengthen down through leg, extend up through arms, full body stretch. Exhale, both knees into chest then, hugging thighs towards body. Create that space, keep the back soft and flat. We're going to rock gently side to side, working across the lower back, and as always it's important we're not rolling over hard bone. From here we're going to flip all the way to all fours. Wiggle, jiggle, adjust as you need. And when we get here, let's make sure everything's in the right place. We want hands directly under shoulders, shoulder width apart, knees under hips, hip width. Have a breath here, relaxing those shoulders. As you exhale, sit back into child pose. So hips back towards heels, ribs down towards thighs, elbows, foreheads coming towards the floor. Up to you here, you've got some options. Ankles could be flat. It is a little bit too much for some people, so curl toes if you need. If it's tight in the chest, bring the hands closer, elbows wider. And we're just going to have a couple of breaths here. Now if you're happy as you are, stay as you are. If you want, then as you inhale, you're going to reach forward through the arms. That gives us that stretch just here in the lats. And as you exhale, you're just relaxing, pressing the chest downwards slightly. And another breath then. As you inhale, come up to all fours, and we're going to step left foot inside left hand, lifting the chest, just resting the elbow on the thigh into a kneeling lunge position. Let's just check everything's where it should be. We want a straight line down through this left shin. We don't want to see knee beyond toes. And we're turning hips and shoulders square as we look forward. We're going to come high, elbow resting on the thigh. I am allowing a little bit of anterior pelvic tilt. It's fine, we haven't really stretched out the hip flexors yet. And just looking forward. Let me show you this from the front. Remember here, we need to squeeze bums, we need to squeeze tummies. It tips the pelvis. We get a little bit more stretch into the hip flexors. We have got that anterior pelvic tilt at the moment. But also engaging into glutes inhibits the hip flexors. They start to relax. And I just look forward. Slightly down because I don't like to hyperextend my neck. We're just holding it here for another breath. As you inhale from here then, you're going to sweep through with right hand, lifting chest, reaching up to ceiling. Tummy's tight, glutes engaged, and we want to start to tip the pelvis backward. We're not allowing the hips to tip forward anymore. As you squeeze bums, squeeze tummies and tip the pelvis, do you feel that stretch right here in the hip flexors? And we're extending up through the arm. Looking forward or looking up, do what feels more comfortable for you. We've got a couple of breaths here, squeezing those bums, squeezing tummies, reaching up. And relaxing here. And another one then. If you're happy as you are, stay as you are. You can bring the hand down onto the thigh if you need. If you want, let's add a bit of side bend. We're going across to the left. It's that little banana shape through the side of the body. With this left hand on the left thigh just for support. I'm pressing out into the right hip. That brings that stretch down into TFL. And as I extend up through the arm, I've got the stretch in the lats, teres major, and I can feel it right down into my obliques. And again, let's hold it here for a couple of breaths. I always close my eyes because it helps me relax. Back to centre, reaching up, squeezing bums, squeezing tummies. Can you feel it on the hips still? This is the fun bit, I love this bit. As you exhale, you're going to bring that hand, right hand, onto the back of the head. So we're adding some stretch into pecs, serratus anterior as well in a second. We need to take this elbow back, and then we're adding some side bending as well, going up. And I'm just leaning into this thigh. Again, that stretches right down the side, hip flexors, into TFL a bit more, into those obliques, serratus anterior, pecs, lats, teres major. Last breath here. As you inhale, reach up both hands, hold that breath, hands down, and step back to plank. So, hips down in line. Drop those knees if you need. We're going to keep elbows tucked into the body, lowering the chest towards the floor, and if we can, we hover at the bottom. Drop hips, and we're going to come onto elbows. Gentle back bend here. Now you've got some options. Hold it here if you're happy here. In that gentle back bend. We're bringing the hips into extension, so we've got that hip flexor stretch still. We need to squeeze bums and press into hips.
If you like though, we're going to reach back with right hand, grab the right foot, bring the heel towards the hips. You could use a band here if you have one. We want to keep the hips square with the floor. We're not twisting the hips. We're pressing down through the hips. Again, squeezing bums, squeezing tummies. And we hold it here for a couple of breaths. This is a tough one, but I love this one. You could do this on your side rather than on your front. So that's another option for you. Last breath then. Hold that one, hands down, curl toes, push up, plank, dropping hips, lifting chest, and back to down dog. Let's have a breath here. Pressing hands into floor, lengthening through the backs of the legs, and pressing back through shoulders, ears between arms. Let's drop down as we exhale onto knees. Curling toes if you like, it's up to you. Exhale, back to child pose, resting position. And we have a couple of breaths here. You've got those alternatives as well. Ankles flat or toes curled, hands close, elbows wide. It's all the same. From here, again, we're going to extend forward through the arms, adding that gentle lat stretch. As we exhale, we're just sinking into chest a little bit, only if it's comfortable. As you inhale, come to all fours, step forward, right foot. So the stretch is through the left hip. And we're lifting the chest again, forearm to thigh. Pressing forward into the hips, squeezing bums, squeezing tummies. And we're just going to check again, we've got that straight line down through the shin. It's fine to be a little bit further forward, but we don't want knee beyond toes. Last breath here. As you inhale, sweep through left hand, reaching up. And look how I sit back slightly and then adjust position of the pelvis. Let me show you from the other side. And again, same as the other side. We're squeezing tummies, we're squeezing bums. We're tipping the pelvis. We've got that stretch through the hip flexors. And we're extending up through this arm. You can bring that hand down onto the thigh if you need. Let's have another breath here. Now stay as you are if you're happy as you are, but if you want, we're adding that side bend across to the right this time as we open up through the left. Arm stays in line with ear and we press out slightly into hips, squeezing through bums and tummies still. And again, we've got that stretch right down the side. Lats, toes major, into obliques. I can feel it through my lower back into QL, through the front into those hip flexors, and out into the side of the hip into TFL, which is also a hip flexor, obviously. Back up, and every time squeeze bums, tummies, keep that stretch. We're popping that hand on the back of the head. We're taking the elbow back, engaging those mid-back muscles, rhomboids, mid-traps, stretching through the front, into pecs, serratus anterior, down through the side. We're going to add side bend, taking the elbow upwards. And another breath here. Reaching up both hands as you inhale. Hold that breath, hands down. Back to plank. Drop knees if you need. Let me show you from the other side. From plank, again, we're lowering the chest towards the floor. Hover at the bottom if you can, elbows tucked in. Drop hips and up onto elbows, gentle back bend. And you've got those same options if you're happy as you are. Stay here. If you want, we're going to reach back, left hand, grab left foot,
heel towards the hips. Again, don't twist hips. You can use a band if you need. If your heel doesn't come all the way to the hips, it's fine. Squeeze bums and press forward. Ooh, do you feel how that changes the stretch? Have a breath. Hold that, hands down. Up to plank. Back to down dog. Let's have a breath here. And down onto the knees as you exhale. Quick breath. And exhale as you sit back into resting position, back to choke pose. From here, let's flip onto our bums. Doesn't matter how you get there. And then lay back, hugging thighs into body. Got that gentle stretch across the hips. Ease those knees out and let's rock side to side. Lengthen down through legs. Extend up through arms. Ooh, I'm a bit close to the wall. Exhale, let's bring right knee into chest, hugging the thigh into the body. So we've got hip flexors quite a bit. We need to get those hip extensors. Extensors? Extenders? Couple of breaths here. Lengthen down through leg, extend up through arms. Swapping sides. Left knee into chest. You've got the same options you had at the beginning. We're just holding it for a couple of breaths. Lengthen down, extend up, stretch out. And as you exhale, bring hands to sides. Just lay back and relax. As always, find the position that feels most comfortable. Laying on backs if you like, legs extended if it's comfortable, sit up if you prefer. Close eyes if you find that relaxing. And let's focus on our breathing. Inhaling for 4. And exhaling for 4. As you exhale, let that tension and tightness out of the body. Let the muscles soften and relax. And let yourself sink into the mat. Becoming more relaxed with every breath you take. Body becoming soft and heavy as you sink deeper into the mat. So, let's wiggle fingers and let's wiggle toes. As you inhale, reach arms up plus ears, lengthen down through legs. Exhale, bring both knees into chest. Ease those knees out, create that space, soften and flatten the back. Let's rock side to side. And from there, roll to side and push up to seated if you like. Find a comfortable position again, whatever that is for you. Closing eyes if you like, keep them open if you prefer. Hands wherever, laps, knees, prayer, hearts or tummies. As you inhale, find that length up through the spine. As you exhale, relax. Let that tension out of necks and shoulders. As always, inhaling for 4. And exhaling for 4. Let's open up our eyes. As you inhale, reach out and up. Hands together. Hands to head. Hands to heart. And the last one, reaching up as you inhale. Hands together. Hands to head. Hands to heart. Namaste. Thank you very much.
I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please like and subscribe. Thanks.